Mill is extremely jealous and acts like his wife. I'm absolutely weirded out. My Mill invited me and my BF to a trip to Paris because my BF's brother turned 18. We started at Disneyland and continued the trip in Paris for 4 days. The first few days went okay, and it's a pattern. The first few days with her are always okay. After a few days she starts to stare me down and gets annoyed by my presence. She then touches, for example, my shirt and comments stuff like, "You can't wear that, there is a hole." When I tell her that this is not a hole, she tries to argue and tell me no, the shirt is broken, etc. It's always stuff like this. She is really loud and I'm more introverted but nice and friendly. And sometimes we get along well. We went to the Louvre and all she wanted to see was the Mona Lisa and leave. I was really disappointed and got angry because I wanted to see the whole museum. I told that my boyfriend and said nothing to her. She then sat down inside the room I was in and told my BF that she will wait there until I'm finished. I felt pressured and didn't want to visit the museum like this and went to another room to be by myself. The twist came one day later when she wanted to eat dinner at 2 p.m. We all didn't want to eat that early and asked her if she wanted to go to a cafe. She sat down without saying anything and told my BF to bring her whatever we chose. We then chose a piece of cake and out of nowhere she started screaming how we think that she doesn't want drink something. My BF told her that's why he asked her before. She then started screaming stuff like, "Now I can also cause a scene like she did yesterday walking away when we just wanted to see the Mona Lisa and made us wait. Now I can do that too. I don't know, she's just making a scene and ruining the trip." My boyfriend started arguing with her but stopped. Because she just got more mad and mad. She then didn't really talk to me the last few days and always asked for my BF to come to her room when he was with me, etc. She always asked him to bring her stuff, and when he wouldn't do it she got more mad. Yesterday we got home and she then posted a picture of my BF and his brother and the caption was, "Sadly the trip is over with you both. We three had an amazing time," which made me cry really badly. My boyfriend went to her house alone and asked her about these situations the last few days. She didn't wanted to talk about it but then told my boyfriend that she was jealous of me and how he treats me and she wants this behavior from him as well towards her. He told her that it's a different situation because I'm his girlfriend and she didn't understand that and said things like, "Your mother comes first." She als told my BF and BF's brother that they shouldn't come back that late to the hotel because she didn't want to be alone and misses them already so much. She didn't understand that I'm sad because she is the victim and got neglected. I don't know how to talk to her ever again. These were just the smallest amounts of things that had happened. I've researched and come to a topic called emotional incest, but I don't know what to do. Know how do we get her to stop behavior like this? We had a lot of situations like this the last 7 years. Comment. You can't change her behavior. Your BF should read about emotional incest. He will have to be the one to set boundaries if she doesn't stop being a lunatic. If your BF knows that she a problem, then get him into therapy immediately because with her as his mother he will need it. If he thinks that her behavior is fine, then it is time for you to move on. You don't stop her behavior. You just stop being around her, so you're not subjected to it. Look long and hard at your relationship. You're not married yet. If you get married, there's a pretty good chance we'll see you here again, down the road. Mill taking over wedding. Mill making pregnancy about her. Mill wants to live with us. Should I cut Mill out, even though I want my kids to have a grandma, no matter how shitty she is? You can nip this in the bud by either never seeing her again, or walking away for good. Those are your options. This was written in a hurry, sorry. My English isn't the best. My Mill is jealous too, and I've learned that you can't change the behavior of others, just the way you respond. If she is that bothersome, take a step back and stop interacting with her. We just wanted to see the Mona Lisa. Seriously. She has the audacity to speak for everyone in the group. Bet she took a family picture with her sons to post on FB to prove that she'd been to the Louvre but was forced to stay longer than a few minutes. She feels entitled to have a loud meltdown and embarrass everyone in a Paris public cafe because she didn't get a drink. Oh my oh my. I assume that this is a trip you'll never forget for all the wrong reasons. Don't agree to attend another vacation fiasco with her until BF finds a way to rein her in. Okay, so from what I'm reading, your Mill would like for your BF to treat her the way he treats you. If you ever become pregnant, is she going to want him to impregnate her too? If he married you, is she going to expect him to marry her as well? If all of this grosses your BF out, as it should, he needs to point out to his mother, not girlfriend, but mother, that you are able to do things to and for him that she can't. So obviously you are going to get preferential treatment. And it is extremely grotesque for a mother to expect to be treated as though she is her son's girlfriend. Next story 2. Am I crazy or is my mill being dramatic and lying? Well, me and my man argue, his mum whispers in his ear, all the crap, so she has with me. In my opinion, she's being dramatic, especially since she's nearly 50 and 20. And Imo even lying. She doesn't like me and to protect her son, her golden child. I believe that she is radical enough to do so, because she would argue with him every hour about me. Here are her gripes. I've always been in a dog. I haven't been close to a cat before. I'm deeply uncomfortable with being alone with her. My man leave me alone with her for an hour or two at a time, so I often use the cats as a way to feel comfortable, and I ended up really liking them. Looking back, I can see that I probably wasn't respecting the boundaries. I haven't cats before, so it wasn't something that I knew. She would say that her cats aren't and very cuddly. I assumed it meant I shouldn't cuddle them, but apparently she took that as telling me to stop bothering them. By bothering I mean petting. I asked how my man was as a child. She told me he was a daredevil and all the dangerous things he would. I was a bit shocked, but I also laughed. She told him I had a scowl on my face, which seems pretty dramatic to me as I was definitely smiling. And then she told me about an activity that used to do as kids. I mentioned, I have no idea what she was talking about, and she looked shocked that I hadn't an experience. She asked me, have you never done that? I'm quite a straightforward person, so I said no, I didn't have the best childhood. I didn't expect any sympathy. It was a fact, but she made it seem like I was complaining or expecting something. Basically, in my opinion, just been dramatic. In my opinion, all of this is dramatic and the reason to argue with your son, but I'm too terrible person. Now here's the issue. She's previously lied about things I've said and done. I don't want to create issues, so I don't contest. However, I am fed up. We are talking about children. I said my status has changed and I'm now pen to perhaps one day having children. However, I want to have enough income to give them the lifestyle that my parents gave me. And I'm not sure if I could be a stay-at-home mom, as I feel a bit and resenting them. She kept insinuating that the woman didn't have to stay at home. I completely agreed. I didn't think much of it, but then when my man went to go shower, she whispered to me, "No, I think my son would be a great day-at-home dad. He's really got the personality for his great for kids, he's gentle, etc, etc, etc." I felt like it wasn't her place to talk to me about this, so I didn't want to create an argument. I just quickly agreed and moved on from the conversation. It strikes me as odd, so odd I even mentioned it on the way home to my man. Now we've had an argument and she told him the two issues with me above, and that I kept telling her how he'd be a great stay-at-home dad, which I never said. In fact, I only lightly agreed with what she was saying, as I didn't want to create any issues. And that I would give him an allowance. I said that I want to go abroad to work at some point as the industry I'm in pays better. My man likes cars. So if I earn well, I could give him an allowance for a year to rest. If he wanted. She has taken what I have said out of context. I feel that she only has what she wants to hear. Am I crazy? Next story 3. My boyfriend's mother is really controlling and unkind to him. I just really want to vent about my boyfriend's mother and how she is acting towards him. He is 21 and still lives at home. He is looking for an apartment, but with the current housing market it is really difficult. I feel really uncomfortable whenever I come over because of how she acts. The worst stuff happens to him when I leave the house, and his parents both are trying to keep up some kind of act whenever I come over. The first thing that makes me really angry is that, when I come over, they just kind of insult him and try to get me to agree to their point. They're complaining that his room is a mess, which I actually understand because he tries to be away from home as much as possible. Home is not a safe space for him because of how his parents act, and the rest of the house is a mess as well, so it's not like they're setting a good example. They ask me stuff like, do you think this is normal, and don't you think he should be ashamed of this, and don't you think it's weird he invites you over in this mess? It makes me really uncomfortable that they kind of try to bully him and prove their point through me. They do this a lot, and also with a lot of other things. He is redecorating his room now because he wants it to be nice and tidy for me because I'm a very tidy person, which I think is really sweet, especially because I didn't ask for it. He was away for a few days, and when he came back his mother moved all his stuff. He collects Legos and always preserves the boxes and spare parts really well because it adds to the value in a few years' time. She took everything out of the boxes he put it in, and put them in cabinets. She also moved around some of his furniture. He was really upset because some of the boxes got damaged and he lost some Lego pieces. This infuriated me because she didn't ask him, and also at his room, why would she decide where to put his furniture? They also regularly make comments on how his job is not a real job, he works as a freelancer besides college, how he fails at everything, how he is good for nothing, etc. I really don't understand because he is so nice, generous, respectful, hardworking, and funny. I have never before in my life met a guy as great as he is, but his parents don't seem to see this. They have started acting a bit nicer to him when he introduced me to them, but still they bully him on a daily basis. It breaks my heart to see how he gets treated knowing what an amazing man he is. I really don't know how I can help him. He is scared to stand up to his parents because they are petty AF. They might throw him out of the house or the atmosphere at home will get even worse. I would love to stand up for him, but since his parents are acting very nice to me and nicer to him when I'm over, there is not much I can say or do. Except disagree when they make a mean comment about him and ask me if I agree. Any thoughts on how I could help him or how he could talk to his parents? Right now I'm just helping him finding an apartment as quick as possible, but it's difficult.